All right, you guys. All right, you guys. How's it going? I wanted to make a video about, so I had these three different ideas about, and one was business, the other one was preparedness, the other one was spirit, and I don't know. I always want to talk to my kids and make sure that they're prepared. So I want to talk about value. I want to talk about how if you look for money, if you're trying to go to school and get a job for money, you're not going to find a lot of it. You're going to find a lot of headaches, a lot of you're going to have to sell yourself. You have to sell your time. I mean, that's the idea. The idea of employment is selling time for money. For me, I've gotten out of that game, which took a hard learning curve. But the game that I'm in is service. I sell service, which, you know, I don't sell time. It's really the only thing that changed. I sell service. So sometimes I spend a lot of time. It takes all my time. And other times I have a lot of flexibility with my time. Overall, it's pretty flexible. I can choose to be lazy and I can choose to work hard and make a lot of money. Freedom is what it's about. You want to be free. Systematically, it's really sweet. But the thing is you got to be a valuable human being. You can't be useless to where you just get up. You have to want to be driven. And as I was growing up, that was like I don't know about that. We should all want to be driven. That should be in our culture, to be driven, to go forward, not to go to school and get a job. Go to school and get a job. You know, a lot of my family members, they went to school and got a job. I mean, I guess I was on that path, but I'll tell you what, was not good at it. I was not good at going to school and getting a job. I was not good at either one of them, going to school or getting a job. I was good at learning, but it took me a long time to grow up and realize that, you can't just learn about smoking pot forever and expect to be making any kind of money to take care of anybody, even yourself. You smoke pot, it ultimately makes you lazy. I love pot. It really is fantastic. But some people love alcohol. I don't like alcohol. I love pot, but I don't do either one of them. I don't smoke and I don't drink. And it's because you can't. If you are in a stage of emergent growth, like, you have to do it. Like, I'm 36 years old. 5 years, I'm gonna be, 41? Not that bad. But in 20 years, I'm gonna be pretty much done. I'm gonna be tired a lot. So I wanna get it in my mind. I had to. It was an emergent type of deal. I had to get it in my mind that learn, grow, value. Learn, grow, value. And I had to stick that in my brain as hard as I could. I had to drill that in as best as I could. And the better I did out in the world. I started a business. The first job, business-wise, that I had was a massage therapy. I wanted to be a masseuse. And you know what? I honestly don't care about doing it by the book. They teach you that in school. It makes you feel like you gotta run, and it's good to do it by the book. And I'm doing it by the book today. But in the beginning, to find out who I was, you just gotta do it. It doesn't matter about licensing. Licensing, good. You can't just do everything without a license. But I'm licensed and insured today. For what I do, I'm licensed to do what I do, insured to do what I do, so it's all good. But in the beginning, I knew that I wasn't gonna go and get a license and everything was gonna work out. I just had to do it. I just had to get up and do it. And that's the best school, is that you just gotta do it. You don't even think half the time, you just do it. Experiential knowledge is always better than theoretical. Theoretical is what you're gonna learn in school. But when you get out in the real world, the experiential world, you still don't know nothing. You still don't have the schooling that you need. Theoretically, You know, you're there, but if you don't have the experiential, you're still retarded. Now, there's a lot of funny things I could say that I have theories on when it comes to value, but I want to talk about what I know for sure. And what I know is that when you're an employee, you sell your time for money. It doesn't even matter if you're good at your job. If you're good at your job and you make your master happy, you're going to keep your job, but in the end of the day, you lose your value and you sell your time. You're selling your value, which is your time. Your time is valuable. You're selling your most valuable asset. I'm going to use the word asset in return for not very much money. The person that makes the most money is the one that takes the most risk. And it seems on the outside that you're not taking a lot of risk, but actually, as the employee, you take the most risk. It looks like on the outside that the business owner takes the most risk, and that's not the way it is. Not in reality. In reality, the business person takes the least amount of risk because you have to be driven. If you drive yourself, you can create a system that works for you. You got to obviously not just create a system that makes money, but that retains value. Retains money, but money is nothing. So I don't want to go into any kind of crazy things, but I just want to make sure that I really pound in the point that money isn't anything. Value, if you create a system with value, and I'll go back to the point. I get all over the place. A business owner is safer because you create one business, it could fail. Create another business, it could fail. Create another business, it could fail. It's a normal thing. That's just the way that it works. A lot of people's brains can't get wrapped around that at the beginning. But the first time you create a business that works, that business should be an engine for other types of security. So you create that one business is successful, and then you're going to create a revenue to where you don't just stop there. It's not about money. You don't just, I got money, I'm good now, living like a king. So that money, that business that created money for you, revenue, or whatever word you want to use, it could stop one day, ultimately, like that, and then what? You've taken a big risk, and now you're out. But while that business is working, use that money, pay your bills, do whatever you need to do, and whatever's left over, you can, in return, as a result, you can create more security by maybe even creating another business, by figuring out this is the best way, figure out how to let your money make money. You can figure out there's all kinds of ways, let's talk about it here. It's not like no one's an expert, truly. No one's scientist, this is all just words that we use. Stop letting schools indoctrinate you. And if you're in school right now, you want to be taking the value of it. Think on your own. Don't let the school think for you. That's indoctrination. At the end of the day, if they're not thinking for you, then what do you got? You got to be able to think for yourself and take the value of it. So my kids, they're super young, they're barely in school. None of them are in college, none of them are even in high school. I'm going to teach them to go to school and, well, you know what, I'm actually horrible at school. But whatever they're in, take the value from it. If you go get a job, don't do it for money, ever, especially as a young kid. Hey, Dave.
When I went out there, I just saw Bruno just throw up.
Thanks for telling me that. I wanted to know that.
Yes, you did.
I got the video camera on.
Hello.
I was talking about value and how when you guys are growing up, I'm gonna show you guys how to. Remember, I tell you to not just get a job. Come sit down. Hey, Bruno, still out there?
Yeah.
I was telling you guys that when you guys go get a job, it's not just about making money.
Yeah.
It's about value. It's about when you're out there learning how to make money. It's a value system. It's not a monetary. I'm just here. I'm working, and then and all of a sudden you get a paycheck at the end of the day. Yes! At the end of the day, you should be gaining value and not just money, right?
Right.
And that's it. At the end of the day, you're more valuable. And soon, you're going to be so valuable that they're going to want to pay you so much money because you can go anywhere. You're so much valuable, you'll be so much. And if you go you start a business or you find a venture that you really love, it's all the more to you. At the end of the day, value is the goal. Never is what?
Never is
Money. Money is never the goal. Why is money never the goal?
because it has no value.
It has no value. And remember, I wanted to take the video out and show them like the silver quarter and the fact that before 1967, the silver quarter had value to it that was solid because it was made of silver. And just like in Rome, they had money that was made out of copper. They had money that was made out of silver, money that was made out of gold. And then all of a sudden, they took their money, essentially their value, they would put it into a pot, mix it with cheaper metals. I think the cheaper metal was copper. Cheaper metal was copper. Well, anyways, they mixed it with cheaper metals, such as they did here. This is 1967. Man. 1967. That's damn near the silver one. But it's not silver, and you can tell it's not silver because it has the copper on the edge.
Let's see.
It's weird. Anyways, Rome essentially took the money that was valuable, truly valuable, and they mixed it with worthless metals. And over time, I mean, they did some serious inflation. Over time, everything was pointless. The value system, there was no value within the actual people, and the government stole their value. So that's basically what's happening today.
See, Bruno wanting to come.
It's probably Bruno. That's really what I wanted to bang across. Is I'm kind of hitting all the points in one piece: business, preparedness, and spirit. So many different things I could talk about. Business. There's some spiritual sides to business, and the idea is that money is pointless, just like material is pointless. But where business really gets understandable, or we can really start to have the right tools to make a business, is when you understand value and not money. You know what I mean, Dave?
Yeah.
And that's it. All right, you guys. Say bye, Dave.
Goodbye.
Bruno. He's like, no, not doing it.